Let me tell you something. Sometimes the loudest battle you'll ever fight isn't out there in the world. It's right here in your own mind. It's that voice that keeps whispering, you can't do it. You're not enough. You'll never make it. And the truth is, that voice has stopped more dreams than failure ever has. But what if I told you that everything you've been waiting for, everything you've been praying for, starts the moment you stop doubting yourself? Because doubt is the anchor that keeps your potential chained down, and belief is what sets you free. This isn't just another motivational talk. This is a message for the fighter in you, the part that's tired, the part that's been hurt, but still refuses to give up, because life will test you. It will break you down just to see what you're made of. And when that moment comes, when you're standing face to face with fear, it won't be talent or luck that saves you. It'll be your belief in yourself. So as you listen today, I want you to make a decision, not just to hear these words, but to feel them, to let them shake something loose inside you, to remind yourself that you were never made to live small, to play safe, or to hide behind excuses. You were built for more. And the moment you decide to believe in that truth, everything changes. Stay with me till the very end of this message, because by the time we're done, I promise you, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. You'll walk away not just inspired, but ready to silence that doubt once and for all, and step boldly into the life you were born to live. The first keynote is, doubt is the dream killer. And that's the truth most people don't want to face. It's not the lack of talent that holds you back. It's not the lack of opportunity. It's not even the obstacles that stand in your way. It's doubt. That quiet whispering voice inside your mind that says, you can't do it. You're not ready. You're not good enough. That voice is dangerous because it doesn't need to shout. It just needs to linger long enough to make you hesitate. And hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. People talk about fear, but doubt is fear in disguise. It doesn't push you to run. It convinces you to stand still. Doubt makes you question your worth. It makes you forget how far you've already come, how much you've survived, and how many storms you've already walked through. It tricks you into believing that your past mistakes define your potential. But the truth is, doubt is a liar. It thrives in your uncertainty and feeds off your hesitation. When you start listening to it, you begin to shrink yourself to fit inside other people's expectations. You stop dreaming big, stop trying new things, and stop stepping out in faith. You settle for comfort when greatness was calling your name. Every dream starts as an idea, but it's belief that turns that idea into reality. You could have a gift that could change the world, but if you doubt yourself, that gift stays locked inside you. Doubt is the silent assassin of potential. It kills your vision before it ever has a chance to live. The most successful people in the world weren't always confident. They just learned how to act in spite of their doubt. They understood that faith and doubt can't share the same space. You've got to choose one. When you decide to silence that inner voice of doubt and replace it with belief, you start moving differently. You speak with conviction. You walk with purpose. And you act like you belong in the places you once thought were too big for you. Doubt will always knock on the door, but you don't have to invite it in, because every time you choose to believe in yourself, you take one step closer to the life you were meant to lead, and one step further from the fear that was trying to hold you back. The second keynote is faith and fear cannot live together. And this truth has the power to change everything about the way you move in life. You can't walk forward in faith while you're holding hands with fear. One of them has to go. Faith says, I can do this, while fear says, what if I fail? Faith pushes you to take the leap, but fear tries to chain your feet to the ground. You can't build your future while listening to both voices. You have to decide which one you're going to feed, because whichever one you feed will grow stronger. Faith isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move anyway. It's that moment when you say, I don't know how this will work out, but I trust that it will. Fear focuses on what could go wrong. Faith focuses on what could go right. Fear makes you see the mountain. Faith reminds you that mountains can move. Every great breakthrough, every life-changing success story began with someone choosing faith over fear. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have everything figured out, but they believed that if they just took one more step, something good would happen. The problem is that too many people let fear take the driver's seat. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of what people might say. And the longer you let fear lead, the smaller your world becomes. You stop taking risks, stop chasing dreams, stop believing that something greater is possible. But when you let faith lead, your world expands. Doors start to open, opportunities start to show up, and your confidence starts to rise. Faith doesn't promise that the journey will be easy, but it promises that the journey will be worth it. You see, faith and fear can't share the same space because they're built on opposite beliefs. Fear believes in defeat before you even try. Faith believes in victory before you even see it. Fear looks at your limitations. Faith looks at your potential. And when you live in faith, you start to see evidence of what you believed all along, that you were capable, that you were chosen, that you were built for more. The moment you choose faith over fear, you stop doubting your strength and start walking in your purpose. Because when faith moves in, fear has no place left to stay. The third keynote is your gift was given for a reason. And this truth is something too many people forget when doubt takes over. Every person walking this earth has a gift, something unique that was placed inside them long before they even realized it. It might be your ability to speak, to lead, to create, to inspire, to build, or to heal. That gift is not random, it's divine. It was designed for you, and nobody else can use it the way you can. The problem is that most people spend their lives comparing their gift to someone else's. They look at what others are doing, how fast they're growing, or how much they've achieved, and they start to believe that what they have isn't enough. But your gift is not meant to look like anyone else's. It's meant to fulfill your specific purpose. When you doubt your gift, you disrespect the very thing that makes you powerful. You start to hide it, to water it down, to tuck it away so no one can see it. But hiding your gift doesn't make the doubt go away. It makes you frustrated, restless, and unfulfilled, because deep down, you know you were made for more. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your authenticity. It needs the raw, honest expression of your talent, your story, and your perspective. Your gift is the key to your purpose. It's the reason doors will open for you that won't open for anyone else. But you have to use it. Gifts don't grow in silence. They grow through action, through faith, through discipline. When you start operating in your gift, something shifts inside you. You stop trying to prove yourself to people and start walking in the confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you were born to do. There will always be people who won't see your value, who will overlook your talent or try to make you question your worth. But they didn't give you that gift, so they don't have the authority to define it. The only person who can waste that gift is you. By letting doubt convince you it doesn't matter. Your gift was given for a reason, to make an impact, to touch lives, to fulfill your destiny. The moment you embrace it fully, you'll stop doubting and start realizing that everything you've ever needed to succeed has been inside you the whole time. The fourth keynote is discipline builds confidence. And this is one of the most powerful truths you can ever understand. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through consistency, effort, and sacrifice. People often wait to feel confident before they take action, but that's not how it works. Confidence is the reward for discipline. Every time you show up, every time you do the work, every time you push yourself, even when you don't feel like it, you earn a little more respect for yourself. And that self-respect becomes confidence. Discipline is what bridges the gap between who you are and who you want to be. Doubt fades when you've done the work, when you've prepared, practiced, and put in the time. You don't have to fake confidence. It becomes natural. You can walk into any situation knowing you've earned your place there. Discipline silences insecurity because deep down, you know you've paid your dues. The people who struggle most with doubt are often the ones who rely on motivation instead of discipline. Motivation is temporary. It fades when life gets hard. Discipline is what keeps you moving when the excitement is gone. Every successful person you admire didn't get there just by believing in themselves. They got there by being disciplined enough to keep going long after the feeling was gone. Discipline is showing up to practice when no one's watching, studying when you'd rather sleep, working when you'd rather quit. It's the small daily habits that create massive results over time. You can't talk your way into confidence. You have to train your way into it. And the beautiful thing is, discipline doesn't just change what you do. It changes how you see yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust with yourself. That's how confidence grows, from knowing you can depend on you. When you're disciplined, you stop chasing approval from others because your worth isn't tied to their opinions. It's anchored in your work ethic. Discipline teaches you that you don't need to wait for the perfect conditions to start. You just start and the confidence follows. The more consistent you are, the less doubt has room to live in you. Because when you've done the work, when you've stayed committed, when you've pushed through the struggle, you don't have to convince anyone. You already know you're capable. The fifth keynote is failure is not the end. And this is one of the hardest but most freeing lessons you'll ever learn. Most people see failure as a final destination, a sign that they weren't good enough or that they should stop trying. But the truth is, failure is never the end of the road, it's part of the journey. Every failure carries a lesson, a redirection, a chance to grow stronger and wiser than before. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try, and that's the real tragedy. Failure doesn't define you, how you respond to it does. Every great success story you've ever heard started with failure. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is that the ones who succeed refuse to quit. They looked at failure, felt the pain, and decided to learn from it instead of letting it destroy their confidence. Failure is feedback. It's life showing you what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. If you let it, failure can become your greatest teacher, building resilience, character, and patience inside you. But if you let doubt take over, you'll see failure as proof that you should stop. And that's how dreams die. When you fail, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you were brave enough to try. It means you had the courage to take a risk, to step into the unknown, to go after something that mattered to you. Failure tests your faith. It asks, do you still believe in yourself even when things don't go as planned? And that's where real growth happens, because anyone can believe when things are easy, but true confidence is built when you keep believing after you've been knocked down. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a step toward it. Every mistake teaches you something new about yourself and about life. It sharpens your instincts, deepens your understanding, and strengthens your will. You can't be afraid of failure if you want to win. You have to see it as part of the process. Every time you rise after falling, you build proof that you're stronger than before. The end only comes when you stop trying. As long as you keep getting back up, failure loses its power over you and doubt has no place to live. The sixth keynote is speak victory over your life, and this one goes deeper than motivation. It's about mindset, energy, and belief. The words you speak carry power. Every time you open your mouth, you're either speaking life or death into your dreams. The problem is, most people talk themselves out of blessings before they ever have a chance to receive them. They say things like, I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, or people like me don't get chances like that. Those words don't just disappear. They plant seeds of doubt in your mind. And eventually, you start living out the limitations you've been speaking. Your life will always move in the direction of your most dominant words. So if you want to see victory, you've got to start speaking it. Speaking victory doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to declare faith even in the middle of struggle. When things get hard, you say, I will get through this. When people doubt you, you say, I know who I am and what I'm capable of. When failure hits, you say, this is not the end for me. Those affirmations aren't just empty phrases. They're reminders to your spirit that you're still in the fight. Words shape your perspective, and your perspective shapes your reality. If you constantly speak defeat, you'll start believing that you're defeated. But if you speak victory, you'll begin to walk with power and confidence, can't be shaken by circumstances. Speaking victory also means guarding your environment, what you listen to, what you repeat, and who you allow to influence you. If the people around you are always negative, always doubting, always speaking lack, that energy will rub off on you. You have to surround yourself with people who speak life, who remind you of your potential, who push you to keep going when doubt creeps in, because every word you hear either strengthens your faith or feeds your fear. When you start speaking victory over your life, something shifts. You begin to expect blessings instead of waiting for disappointment. You stop reacting to problems with panic and start responding with purpose. That shift in language builds a new level of confidence, one rooted in faith and vision. You may not see the results right away, but your words are setting the foundation for what's coming. Speak victory daily, because your mouth is a tool. Use it to build the life you believe in, not to destroy it. When you stop doubting yourself, everything begins to shift. You start walking different, thinking different, speaking different. You stop waiting for approval and you start moving with purpose. You realize that the only thing that was ever holding you back was the story you kept telling yourself. You see now that every obstacle, every failure, every moment of fear was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to build you. Life isn't about having everything figured out. It's about having enough faith to take the next step, even when the path isn't clear. Because once you believe in who you are and what you're capable of, no setback, no rejection, no opinion can stop you from rising. You have to understand something. There's a power inside you that's greater than any doubt that lives around you. When you choose to believe, you activate that power. When you choose to keep going despite fear, you prove to the world that nothing can break your spirit. You've come too far to let your own mind be your biggest enemy. You owe it to yourself to stand tall, to push forward, to trust that your journey has meaning. Because the truth is, the same power that created mountains, oceans, and stars also created you. And that means you were never made to live small. You were made to rise. So from this moment on, walk with confidence. Let your actions speak louder than your doubts. Keep moving even when it hurts. Keep believing even when it's hard. The road to greatness isn't easy, but it's worth it. And if you keep showing up, if you keep fighting for your dreams, one day you'll look back and realize you didn't just survive, you became unstoppable.